My name is Jessica Nelson, and this is the Money Hour. I actually got this done for you guys. So I don't know if it's going to work. Today we're going to make it rain on the Money Hour. Let's go, team. I love it. So, why are we so afraid to close? Why do agents have so much trouble asking for business? That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Because there's two skills that an agent needs in today's market to be successful. What are those two skills? The first one is the ability to get an agreement signed, whether it's a buyer's representation, a listing agreement, a contract, whatever it is, you have to have the ability to get an agreement signed. So that's number one. The other skill that an agent needs in today's environment, in today's marketplace, give me a second, guys. So the other thing that you're going to need in today's marketplace is the ability to reduce the price. If you have a listing that's been on the market for 2-3 weeks, you've already tested the price and the market is telling you that an adjustment is needed. So why do so many agents have trouble with this? Why are agents struggling to ask the seller, hey, I need a price reduction? Well, today I have somebody very talented at both of those skills. Both the skill of asking for someone to sign a listing agreement and the skill of when a property isn't moving, being able to ask for a price reduction. And I'm very excited because we have a huge announcement to the world. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to the stage, better known as AAA, joining us from San Antonio, Mr. Andrew Alderetti. Andrew, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here, Jessica. It's been too long, isn't it?
How long ago did we meet? Was it the summer?
What was it? It was that very first event for Jose being in Dallas. I think that's what it was. I think I called you because I was like, "What's going on? Like, I need to know where the place is before I lock in a hotel room."
Bro, you've been a closer since day one. Guys, on the phone, and he's like, "Listen, I need to know this is the time. I need to know this is the place." And I think we had just put it up like a teaser flyer to see if people were interested. You got to love a closer. I could tell right in that moment that you're successful. You got my attention.
I appreciate that. And thank you so much for being so kind. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. So today, what I wanted the audience to kind of pick your brain about and for you to share if you're comfortable, how many listings did you get signed in 2024?
2024, we actually had 50 listings signed.
50 listings signed. That's amazing.
Actually, I think it was like 52 when we finished it all out, but 50 listings signed, that's kind of the number that everybody likes. So 50.
In one of the most difficult markets, right?
Yeah, San Antonio. San Antonio is definitely a different market than where you are for sure. And obviously, we all know what the statistics are. I think everybody's sharing that statistics that I think what was it 75% of agents really didn't do one deal or any, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so it was actually the biggest year for me personally, and obviously that's because of where we learned it from and in the group that we have here, and so it was just an awesome experience to be a part of that.
So what he's alluding to, and I don't know, do you want to make the announcement or do you prefer I make it?
You can definitely make the announcement, but I'm highly excited just to even be here. As you know, it has been some time, but yeah, go ahead.
So I had the great pleasure of meeting Andrew just a few months ago at a coaching with Jose Luis Morales, and we quickly realized that we had the same culture. We love prospecting, we love doing deals, we love helping other people, giving more than we receive.
And most recently, he was able to join us at the Deal Summit, and he is coached also by Aaron Novello. We both are. And Andrew made the big decision to become the first elite builder in San Antonio.
Woo! Yes, I'm super excited. Like honestly, you don't understand. Like this last couple of days, making this transition has just been elevating, not only for me but my wife, my family. Everybody's super excited for this opportunity.
And you are a family run business. Your wife is also an agent, right?
Yeah, she's licensed too. Her full time job is obviously dealing with the four kids that we have, and so, but she is licensed, yes, for sure.
Have twins, or they're all different ages?
They're all different ages. I have four. The oldest one is 5, 4. I have she's 2 now. She's gonna be 3 on the 8th, literally like in 2 days from now. And then I have a 10-month old.
Oh, happy birthday. So
Yes,
I
thank
think
you.
the two older ones I always thought were twins, the 5 and the 4 year old.
Yeah, they definitely look like it for sure.
That's so cool. So what made you decide? I mean, you have a big business. You're not like someone who's this wasn't an easy transition. You had a lot of active listings, a lot of pendings. Why did you decide, hey, this is the right time? This is for me?
Well, yeah. Again, Aaron was a big factor of that. Jose was a big factor of that. And then obviously all the learning and being coached by them, that got me to, the best business year of my life last year. And then obviously, with having all those transactions and then being able to move was like kind of like a big thing for me. I was like, wait, I'm getting momentum here and learning all these different things. So before making the decision, I know some people jump right away. I felt like I wanted to jump right away, but I also don't want to just be straightforward. I didn't want to be one of those agents that hop brokerages over and over and over and stuff like that. So to be straightforward with you, before I even heard about Aaron or Elite Builders or any of you guys, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be at my brokerage for this is the last time I'm moving. Like, I'm not moving anymore. And it was just pretty interesting how, and I'm just going to be open to say how God orchestrated how, meeting Jose, being trained by Aaron, how that worked. And, over and over, it was about leadership. Over and over, it was about resources, the community. And, I was kind of that person where I was like, you know what, I'm a lone ranger. I don't necessarily need the culture. I don't need the leadership. I am a leader, all those different things. But man, I can't deny the fact that the value that we get here in this group and then on this platform, it was just a business decision that had to be made. And so, talking to my wife, praying, and obviously persistence as well, we were able to make that move, and so we're excited about it.
So what I love about what you're saying right now is, and a lot of people could probably understand this watching this, this was not an easy decision. He had a lot of business. And sometimes when you're in the middle of a lot of transactions, that might feel like a cycle that it's no good time. There's really no good time. But it sounded like you really weighed, where am I going to grow the most? And where do I see myself helping others the most?
Yeah.
And what can people expect if they see you in San Antonio and they're like, hey, I want to do 50 deals like Andrew? What could they expect if they partner with you?
Well, if they partner with us, really, and that's really now I'm starting to really believe and say that now. It's not me, it's us. We are a team, and I think that's something that I'm really embracing. And then, I don't know if you know this, Jessica, but I actually came from a coaching background. I used to coach football, basketball, strength conditioning coach. I know it doesn't look like it, but
Good on the court. Jose said you're pretty good.
Yeah, so hopefully we have a rematch here pretty soon. But yeah, so the coaching aspect and then the group, the team effort, that was the biggest deciding factor. And so anybody that partners up with, like, not only me but with Elite Builders, the Texas Elite Builders, they're going to be so overwhelmed with the amount of resources, the amount of actual technical skills and not just mindset. I really do appreciate what Aaron says all the time is like, hey, we're not here to teach you mindset. We're actually here to actually teach you techniques, skills to actually get you to the next level. And I'm literally living proof of that. If it wasn't for those skills, if it wasn't for that leadership, if it wasn't for your guys' community or our community now,
Our community, yeah.
I don't believe that, I could even see myself doing 100 deals, which that's my goal now this year to do that. So anybody that partners up with us, I almost guarantee you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of information and the skills that you need to actually succeed. So you just got to pick it and just go after it. And anybody that's wanting to partner with us, we're excited to have you, and we will walk you. If you've only done one deal, no deals, or 100 deals, there's something here for you.
I agree with that. Andrew was kind of teasing me earlier. He said, we got to put together the triangle. And what he's referring to, because I know a lot of New Jersey and Florida people watch us. In Texas, Southwest, the airlines, the way that they started is they took a napkin and they drew a triangle, and that triangle was Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. And inside of that triangle is where the majority of business is done in Texas. So I'm in Dallas, and AAA is in San Antonio. And what we don't have is a strong partner in Houston. So right now we're just a straight line.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're watching this and you're in Houston, we're looking for our triplet, right? We're looking for someone who is a servant leader. Like Andrew just said, he grew up with a coaching background. A coach is hard. My dad is a coach. I think you know that. A coach's heart is, we're going to make you a better person. Yes, we're going to make you a better player, but ultimately at the end of the day, we want you to be a higher ethics, better all-around parent, a better, family member. So coaches who really believe in what they're doing, they're not just going to make you better at your job. You're going to become a well-rounded, better human. And we would love to have somebody in Houston that helps us to create that triangle. And our ultimate vision, and Andrew and I have discussed this a lot, is we want to provide the community with better service, better real estate, right? So how are we doing that? And we're going to get to that soon, because I talked earlier before Andrew got on about the importance of learning how to close and the importance of learning how to price reduce. Those are all service things, right? How to service our clients better, but also how to become better guides, better leaders for our agents. And we have this vision that not only are we going to serve the community, selling lots of homes and doing it with a lot of integrity, we're also going to help agents to become better leaders and more productive. So Andrew, I know that you got to 50 deals, and I was talking earlier about closing and other skills. You just taught a class. What are some things you can give the audience to help them to do more deals? What are some tips you could give them right now?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So we just did our very first event in San Antonio. We had a packed house. It was just an awesome, and it was in a testament, and hopefully I said that right word, but it was in a test that there's a need. There's a lot of agents that need help, that really want to be in this business, that really actually need to be in this business, whether because of the flexibility or life or whatever it might be. And so it was just really awesome to see that there is definitely a need. And so one thing that we did really go over that has been crucial in my personal business is actually a schedule. It's crazy how important it is, and it's so funny that the worst thing for a real estate agent and the best thing for a real estate agent is that we have nobody to keep us accountable, right? We have nobody that's on top of us.
Let me ask you this schedule right here, how much of this do you follow and how much of it have you changed?
Check this out. Let me show you. This is my schedule right here. I don't know if you can see it there, but literally, yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar. I try to wake up around 4:30, and then 5:45 I'm already dressed. I'm reading something. 6:30 I'm listening to role plays. I like to really listen to those.
Whose role plays do you like to listen to?
Everything that we have available. I mean, that's really what been is awesome too, is that if you go into the Elite Builders YouTube, there is literally, I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many videos there are, but so much resource for that. And, you know, just hearing everybody practice and everybody role playing, that's been super helpful for me. And
So
listening.
you're referring to like Morales University and Aaron's YouTube channels?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys want to check out the role plays that Andrew just said are very helpful to him, you could go on Aaron Novello's YouTube channel and subscribe. And he has a lot of videos of role plays. And the other resource that Andrew suggested is the Jose Morales Real Estate School, which is something you would get access to if you chose to partner with Andrew. Andrew, tell me about the rest of your schedule. So what time do you role play?
So I role play with people around, not only just in Texas, but actually around the nation.
Okay.
7 o'clock, 7:45. We're on the phones, and we're just role playing specific objections and going on there. There's really no hey, I had a bad listing here or bad. It's like straight role play. So that's something that, if anybody is interested in role playing, just make sure it's about role playing and not, complaining. That's really something that I've noticed, that if you do go to different role play groups, that a lot of people use that as a water cooler. But what I really appreciate here with us and the Elite Builders is that when we get on the role playing, like we're here to work.
So if anyone wants to hear a live role play right now, drop a fire in the chat. Me and Andrew are ready to go.
Let's do it.
Tell us what you want to hear. Expired or sale by owner? What do you guys want to hear? Drop it in the chat. We'll role play it with you right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so from 7:45, that's that. And then, I stop at 7:45, get some water, get ready to go. And then we're on the phones at 8 o'clock. And I actually wanted to tell you, thank you too so much, because the group that you have or that we have here in Texas is awesome. Like, as you can see, we've been doing that and having you guys watch and looking, and it just keeps us accountable. It keeps us encouraged. I think there was another gentleman on there. I forgot his name. I think it was Daniel or Dan or something like that. I'm still learning everybody's name still. And I had said something. He was like, "Bro, you got it, man. You got it." And it was just, and I was actually already getting tired. So it was really good to encourage and to be around. Again, that's another resource that we have here, is those Zoom calls where, you have everybody else working together to reach our listing goals.
I love our prospecting room. Can you imagine? So back in the day, we didn't have Zooms, right? Like all of us were in these offices, and there was like 2 people who did business and everyone else water cooler talk. So imagine you got like in your local area, you're in Chicago, wherever you're at, and you took the top agent in each office and you said, "Hey, you guys go on Zoom and listen to each other set appointments." Because our prospecting room is Florida, Texas, California, people all over.
Okay, cool.
How much better of an agent would you become if you could hear all of the top agents in different markets? So I love what we're building, and I love to see that you've joined, because your energy it's beautiful and you're adding a lot to the group. Every time we get one up more strong agent, it just makes the integrity of the whole group better. Wow. Someone here online asked us to role play expireds.
Expired, let's do it. Who's going to be the seller? Who's going to be the agent?
Alex, tell us, who do you want to be the agent, me or AAA? We'll see what he says. There's a little bit of a delay when we're on StreamYard. So role play is at 7:30 to 7:45. You get on 7:45. Who do you call at 7:45? Because like Vulcan sometimes doesn't let you call until 8.
Well, actually, no. So 7 to 7:45, that's role play. And then at 7:45, I get water, get ready, go to the restroom. And then I get prepared for the calls at 8 o'clock. Yeah, you're right. So Vulcan won't let you do that. And so, yeah, literally at that time, like maybe at 7:55, 7:57, I'm literally writing on my notepad. And don't get mad at me, but I'm writing on a notepad, and I'm basically writing out my goals. I literally write this every single time. I don't know if you can see it.
That's
but
awesome.
It's 2 appointments a day, 4 listings a week, 16 listings a month, 100 listings a year, 100 agents. And that's what I write every single day before I get on the phones.
One more time for the people in the back. What do you write every day?
Every day before I get on the phones, I'm writing 2 appointments per day, 4 listings per week, 16 listings per month, 100 listings per year, and 100 agents. So I actually just added the 100 agents a month ago. So, and the reason where I got this from is one was actually Aaron. Aaron said, "We're not there for contacts. We're there to actually set appointments." And
Right.
that like blew my mind because my original schedule there had 40 contacts and all that different stuff. And so actually that now is not true. I'm here to actually set 2 appointments every single day.
So we're more about the result than about the journey, because people do get contactitis. And I've noticed that in a lot of my groups where I'll ask them how many contacts and they're like, "Oh, I did 50." And I'll be like, "How many? You must have so many listings." They're like, "I have 2." Right. So those numbers don't add up. You have the right mindset that we're not just here to go through the motions. We're here to create a result. So that's great advice for everyone. All right, Alex asked me to do the expired. Alex, I got to stand up. I can't do expired.
Yeah, that's where I really noticed that does help. So I'm standing up all the time. So what, am I seller now?
Yeah, you're the seller.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, is this Andrew?
Yes, who's this?
Hey, Andrew. My name is Jessica Nelson. I'm calling about the property at 123 Main Street. Are you the owner?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, Andrew, I noticed that you guys have over 3,000 square feet and you're in the most ideal school district. And I can't believe this price. Is this accurate? Your home actually expired? It didn't sell?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. I mean, but it was really just the time of the market and obviously who was in office and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get it relisted here in the summer and we'll have a different turnaround. Thank you so much for giving me a call.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that with me, Andrew. So what I'm hearing in your voice is that you really felt it was the market, the reason why your home didn't sell. And it doesn't sound like you're in too much of a rush because you are willing to wait until the summer. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're kind of fed up with keeping the house clean and hoping somebody would show up. So we kind of want to take a break and get back in the summer.
I hear what you're saying. It sounds like keeping the house clean, maybe even having the pictures of it online for everyone to see is not the most comfortable situation for you and your family. Let me ask you, why did you guys even go through this? Why did you put it in the market in the first place?
Well, we wanted to reduce the size of our home. That 3,000 square feet is too much for us to maintain. My wife is the one that cleans everything up, and the yard, it's a corner lot, so I'm tired of doing the yard. So we're just, like I said, going back in the summer and put it back on the market, and hopefully that something changes. But you're more than welcome to bring a buyer by during the summer if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if I were to bring you, it looked like you were previously listed at 350, and let's say I brought you a buyer who wanted to purchase that home for 340 and move in the next 30 days. Would that work for you, or would that be too soon, Andrew?
No, I think that would be something that we would entertain. Do you have somebody?
Potentially, I might actually. The reason why I ask you that is because sometimes when sellers like yourself have been on the market 100 plus days, it's almost like you forget the whole reason why you even wanted to move. Is it still a priority for you and your family to downsize, or is it something that you maybe at this point you can live here for another 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, we're kind of tired of the house. I mean, it's just too big for us. Everybody's gone, and it's just way too big for us. I think we do want to make sure we make the move here this year. But like I said, we're probably going to use the same agent again, and we're going to be listing in the summer. So if you want to bring us a buyer, that would be helpful. And I think we're going to be offering 2%.
Okay, that's very generous of you. Well, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to work with you in the summer. Let me ask you this, and I appreciate loyalty. After providing your previous agent with 100 days, and it looks like they just weren't able to get it done for you, would it be of some value to you and your family
to find out if your current list price is top dollar. Is it possible that a different marketing plan can actually get you more money? Is that something that you and your family would want to spend 15 minutes learning more about?
Yes, that would be, but I'm just to be straightforward with you, I'm kind of skeptical. How would you actually do that, Jessica?
Yeah, I would be skeptical too. I'm a stranger over the phone. I completely understand. Let me, Andrew, what is the best email address for you?
123.
Okay. Would it be helpful to you to have some proof of concept, perhaps some homes that I've been able to do this for, where I've actually sold them for more than what they were previously listed for by their previous agent? Would it be helpful to see that data in front of you?
Sure. Yeah, send it over.
Okay, great. Um, and would you feel comfortable actually reaching out to some of those sellers if I gave you their numbers? Because they were once in the same position that you're currently in.
Yeah, wow, that would be really helpful. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'd be happy to do that. So I'll send that over to you. And now the second question I have for you is timeline. Would it be helpful for you and your family? Because you mentioned you have kids, and I can imagine that school districts and everything matters to you. If you could time when you would be sitting at the closing table receiving your money, would that be helpful to you in some way?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so that's information I could also provide to you. The third question I have is, were you paying 6% to your last agent?
No, it was actually like 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
So including if there was two or even three agents involved, that's the most you're going to pay?
Well, I mean, he was actually a good friend of ours, or he is a good friend of ours, and so he was actually helping us out. And so that's why we were offering, I think, 2% to a buyer's agent.
Okay, fair enough. Now, if there was a way that I could show you to sell your home for the price or higher than what you currently have it listed for and only pay 4%, is that something that your wife and you would want to hear more about?
Wow. Yeah. How would you do that?
That's a great question. Just by you saying that demonstrates why it would be a good use of your time for us to get together. I am completely booked today, but I have 2 o'clock available tomorrow or 5 o'clock the next day. Which is better for you?
I mean, this was a tough one. It sounds interesting, but I would have to talk to my wife about it. Do you think I can maybe get back to you?
Absolutely. So if my husband was to tell me I'm meeting with somebody and I didn't set it up, I would immediately shoot it down just because I like to be in control of my house. Do you think that, what's your wife's name, Andrew?
Lori.
Do you think that if you told Lori that you met somebody, this is going to be a good use of our time, there's no pressure, will you talk to her for 15 minutes, that she would take a phone call from me before I come out?
Sure. Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah, I don't want to put you to work. That would be asking you too much to sell me for me. And my job is to do all the work, right, Andrew?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, great. I just don't want her to think some weird stranger's calling her. So if you could give me a polite intro, that'd be great.
Okay, great.
What is Lori's number?
123.
Okay, perfect. So I have you tentatively in my schedule. Did you say that tomorrow at 4 would typically work well?
Yeah, anytime after 4 would work, I think.
Okay, I'm going to pencil you guys in for 4:30. And provided that Lori feels comfortable with me coming over, like I said, it's a no pressure consultation. The intention would be to give you these 3 pieces of information. And if you did feel in the future like it's a better choice for you and your family, obviously we could work together. Does that sound fair to you, Andrew?
Yes, sure. Yeah, that does sound good. And let me ask you, have you actually sold anything in our neighborhood?
I have. In the information that I'll send over to you, I can show you our track record in your direct neighborhood and your area. And what I also can do is provide you with the phone numbers to sellers I've helped. You might even know them. They were your neighbors. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that would be super helpful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm here to serve. Well, I do have a few other questions before I come out. And my intention in asking is simply so that I can serve you at the highest level possible. And then I will go into pre-qual.
Nice.
The pre-qual questions I would ask for everyone listening would be, is your wife as excited about making this move as you are? And the reason why I'm asking you that is how many times, Andrew, have you gone to someone's house where the husband was like, yeah, I'm ready. I love this guy. And the wife was like,
Literally, I had one like I think it was in December, and it hurt. It was a big one too.
so I don't really, and I really don't like making the spouse my salesperson
Mm,
because if the wife chose the last agent, there's nothing that the husband's going to say that's going to get you the appointment
true.
because that's her choice. So I would much rather like a warm intro and then be able to sell myself. And I like to make a joke out of it because, most people like to be flattered. They like to be treated with respect. So the line that I love in that situation is, hey, Andrew, I'm supposed to do all the work. I'm not making you work for me. And then I go into what I said.
No,
Um,
yeah, honestly, that was classic. I've never actually heard it that way, and that is actually a good point because if you could get a warm introduction, like, "Hey, my husband already told me that you were going to be calling," like that. That's actually that's awesome. I'm actually going to steal that if that's okay.
that's the idea. That's what I'm feel away, guys. So I would ask, is the wife equally as excited, or the husband, whoever it is, whatever the relationship? The most important question on prequel, and I can send this to anyone who wants it, in terms of what you have been looking for as a family, Andrew, and my intention, provided the opportunity, is to do a great job for you and Lori. So specifically, what qualities would you be looking for in the agent that you would choose to work with you this time? What's
Yeah,
important to you?
yeah, it would be, I need somebody that actually has a plan, and somebody that doesn't, actually communicates with me. That would be really nice to know what's going on. But to be straightforward, just somebody to get it done.
Absolutely. So no matter what they say, guys, like people are going to say open houses. I don't know. Just sell it. They're going to have a myriad of different things. No matter what they say, your answer is always going to be the same. Simple. Somebody who has the professional integrity to be straightforward with you, show you exactly what it's going to take to get it done. And then also someone who's really going to go to bat for you and fight for you to get every penny that you deserve so that you can have an easy transition to your next location and as much money as possible to do that. Is that about right? Is that what you're looking for?
Who's gonna say no to that?
Literally. That is my favorite question in the entire prequel. If any of you want it, just send me a DM or an email. I'm happy to send it to you. Every time I say that question and that answer, the conversation goes from I'll pencil you in to like, oh, I'm going to call Lori right now. You said
Exactly.
call tomorrow, right? They love it. Use it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
some other prequel questions that you guys definitely want to ask, and Andrew and I just learned about this at the Deal Summit. There are other opportunities because some of these people, and you're telling them you're going to get them full price, don't be a bullshitter.
Yep.
Actually get them full price. So if like your marketing strategy just seems like you can't get it from traditionally on the market, what's another option? Andrew and I just learned about this, creative finance. So don't go there like, oh, well, we need to reduce the price. And that, sorry, you're going to go there with another option, which is to give them the full price at a lower commission because there's only one agent, and you'll bring a creative finance offer to them. So in order to set that up, what you have to ask is in your prequel, hey, I'm just curious, how much equity do you have in this home? And I understand I'm a stranger, but I'm asking you for a good reason. Is it fully paid off?
Hmm.
Go ahead, give me an answer, Andrew.
Yeah, we owe about $50,000 on it.
Oh, wow, that's a ton of equity. Okay, great. So let me ask you this, Andrew. Let's say the open market doesn't give you the price you want, but I've already promised you 350. Would you be open to receiving a seller finance deal if it could get you 30 or 50 more $1,000?
Yeah, I mean, how? Yeah, I just don't know what that would be a seller finance. I'm not too understanding on that what that is, but yeah, I mean, $30,000 more.
Okay, great. I'm going to write that down. And when I come out, I'm going to bring that option with me and we'll talk about it in depth so it makes full sense to you. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Now, notice the difference between the way I just said that versus do you just want me to get all of your cash out? So the way that all of us are trained is like to talk shit about it, right? Excuse my
Yeah.
language. I gave up cussing for Lent. The way that all of us are trained is to not speak down on seller financings because we're like aiming them towards going on the market.
Yep.
But actually, that's the wrong way of going about it because in today's market, some of you are going to do a lot better by utilizing creative finance. So instead of asking in a way that it's like you want them to turn it down, ask them in a way where they keep an open mind and you can show them another option.
Yes, that was really crucial when we went to the event. That was like such an eye opener. And so now we can actually come in with a menu of different options and actually it just allowed us to actually serve these clients better than anybody else is. We're not here to one way, one focus. We actually, hey, what fits your needs? What would you like? That was really awesome.
Don't you think that with these new tools you have, it's very hard to lose a listing?
Yeah, no, it really is. And just so funny that you said that is literally today. I was thinking about this seller that they were in a situation where subject to, and I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but that is another creative way to do that. Was not an option for a client of mine. And long story short, unfortunately, we weren't able to sell the property. It was just the market that it was. There was 30 other homes there. But now I actually came back to her today and told her, hey, look, in your situation, to actually solve your problem and get you to where you need to get to, subject to is the solution for you. Whether you do decide that is now or later, that is the one that actually works with you. And I just want to be straightforward with you as possible. And she was just super appreciative of it. And we're actually meeting her again on Sunday afternoon to bring her a couple of offers already on the subject too. And so I wouldn't even have thought of that if it wasn't for, being exposed to, that summit and understanding that is a solution and we don't have to be all about putting it on the market.
Yeah. In the past, you probably would have just not even gone on that appointment, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It just didn't make sense. Once you pre-qualify and find out that there's no equity there, you're like, all right, well, there's really nothing I can do for you. But now it really does allow our heart to help somebody, you know what I mean? And we're actually providing them a solution for it and being, basically have a lot of cards in our pocket. You know what I mean? We're not just one dimensional.
And that's so crucial because when we go out and meet people, and Andrew knows this, there's going to be 5 or 10 agents that call them. And how many do they allow over? Maybe 2 or 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the only agent that has more than one solution, they have no choice but to choose you and work with you. So I think that you're going to get to 100 deals a lot easier with less effort just by having this tool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, literally just the time from them leaving or us leaving from that summit, I've already closed 3 subject to properties already. And I've never done it before then. Like I've never done a subject to, nor did I even know what that was. And I was just educated and saw that that was actually a benefit to some clients. And we were able to do that. So I'm like super excited about this opportunity. And yeah, getting 100 deals is going to be a lot easier, this time around.
There's probably some people watching that are wondering, well, how did you get paid on the subject too? Do you feel comfortable sharing more information?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and just I want to share the very first one because it was super awesome, right? So I called Sarah, it was an expired listing, right? And then I called him. He was real adamant. I do not want to list it. I don't want to list it. We already tried. And obviously the persistence and aggressiveness that I have, I was just keep going. And then I told him, I was like, you know what? Okay, if you don't want to do that, I understand it. What would you take as a cash offer right now? And he told me specifically, I'll take 245. The house is actually worth 290. It's only 2 years old, and he really wanted just a bigger home. His family was growing, but he could not sell the property. Long story short, I told him, hey, let's list it again, thinking that mindset. Let's list the property. If we list the property at 245, we'll get a lot of people interested. He did not want to show the property. He was fed up with the process. He said, bring me a buyer cash for 245. And then obviously I told him, you know what, give me a day. I'm going to go try to find somebody. And I was thinking maybe a buy hold investor to somebody to buy it and just rent it out. You know, they usually pay a little bit more than your typical investor that wants to buy cash. And so I took a day out, and he actually called me back and said, hey, did you find anything? And I was like, no, I actually did not. But as soon as I realized he called me back, I was like, this guy really needs something to happen. And then he was like, have you heard of Subject 2? He told me. And I was like, I've actually heard about it, but to be straightforward with you, obviously we want to do everything morally and ethically. And I told him I've never done one. And he was like, well, if you could find somebody to do Subject 2 for me, all I need is $20,000. I will walk away and let this property go. And
Wow.
I was like, great. I have never done this. His name was Jesus. I've never done this, Jesus, but if you're willing to allow me to figure it out, I will make this happen for you. And he was like, okay, great. And so literally within like 3-4 days, I started, sharing it out there, learned more about it. And we were actually able to close that literally that day. We closed this one, I think the day of the summit. And I showed Aaron and Jose, this was the first one that we were able to do.
And how do you get paid on those deals?
Oh, I forgot the whole point. Yeah, so literally there, I just basically had it was a fee that we had on there to my actual LLC for the finder's fee. That's literally what it was. And it was a finder's fee to help bring the buyer in and bring the seller together. And literally I got paid in my LLC for bringing that together. And that's basically, you put that in special provisions, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it was really pretty clear and pretty simple on that part.
So you get another transaction for your volume, you get another paycheck, and another client that you saved who can say great things about you.
Exactly. Yeah, he was ecstatic. I had the text messages from him, and it was just really awesome to be a part of that. But yeah, I told him straight up, like, hey, I don't know, but if you're willing to allow me to help, I'll figure it out. And so it was just really awesome experience. And I'll remember that one for the rest of my life. That was pretty cool.
And you've done a few since then, you said,
yeah,
right?
More right after that, in the same scenario where, hey, now I feel confident in offering that to these sellers, because now I've actually proven the concept. And I think that's really what it was. I was so resistant because one, I wanted the best for my clients. In my mind, I sell the property as a realtor. But now understanding that is an option, and that's something that can help somebody else. And then obviously doing it has gotten my confidence on a different level. And so now, yeah, that's definitely a menu option, and whatever you want to do, we're here to do it for you.
When you go to listing appointments, are you giving them like 3 options, or how are you presenting all the different things that you're now able to do, if you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah. So really what it comes down to is that pre-qualification. Once we're on the phone and I understand the need of the client, that actually tells me what I can and what I can't do. And so by pre-qualifying the questions that you went through, Jessica, those are crucial, because that does allow you to understand what is their need and what can you help them with. And so from there, by identifying if they don't have the equity to do a traditional sale, and if there's 30 other homes for sale, that it's not going to really happen, well, that's where you can open up and say, hey, if you want this price and you're open to different ways of doing that, I can actually bring 2 or 3 different options for you to consider. And that's really what it is. It's the pre-qualification, understanding their motivation, and getting the details that you need as a professional to actually make the best recommendations for them.
So I think you just led me into a really great question. When you're pre-qualing, because I told everyone what my favorite questions are, what are yours? What are some of your key questions in your pre-qual that you ask no matter what?
Yeah. So the first one is, do you own this house outright, or is there a balance on the property? And they obviously say, if they say, no matter what they say, that's a question that I ask. But there are some people that will say, hey, well, aren't you going to tell me that when you come over? And the cool thing about what I've learned, especially being with the elite builders, is there's a different way to ask that question and go back around that. And so say, basically, yeah, you know what, I totally get it. And really, it's just a matter of matching expectations. And for example, we did have a client that wanted $2 million over the phone, and I knew immediately it was only worth $1 million. That's an appointment that we actually don't need to meet for. And so, and after I say that, they kind of, okay, now I understand. And then I ask them right back then, so do you own this house outright, or do you have a balance on the property?
And why are we asking that for people just joining us?
Yes. Yeah. So the reason why we want to find out is one, is there any equity in the home, right? What kind of equity are we actually trying to help them get? And that actually allows us now to really identify, is the traditional putting it on the market and selling an option? And so if somebody just bought the house 1 year ago, there's no equity there. I don't know if putting it on the market is actually the best bet. And so that allows you to say, okay, hey, I don't know if that's going to be the best way, but are you open to seller financing? Are you open to subject to? Are you open for creative ways to actually get your asking price?
Great. So what are some of your other favorite questions to ask when you're pre-qualifying?
Yeah. So right after that, when we ask, the balance there, and we'll ask, basically, what price would you like to go back on the market on? And that's really important too, just to, I think that's what I already said, right?
You didn't say that yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, go ahead.
That's great that you have the confidence. Remember, as I was saying earlier, guys, that you got to have the confidence to close and the confidence to reduce price. He's asking them, are we in reality? If you just went on the market at $850 and it expired after 3-4 months, and they tell you, oh, I'm going to go back on a $900, hang up the phone. This is not a serious seller.
Exactly. Yeah. So what price would you like to go back on the market with? And so that's a very good question, because you kind of get an idea of their expectations and where they're coming from. Right after that, I always like to ask, who are the decision makers, right? Is there anybody else? Is there any other decision makers that need to be at our meeting today at 5:00? Yes, it's my wife, or yes, it's my, partner, or whoever it might be. Because, if you don't know that, you're going to be rudely surprised and super deflated when you get there. Oh yeah, my wife, doesn't want to sell the property, or she's not even here, so you can't even get the contract signed. So yes.
That's a huge one. Is there anyone else who would like to be involved in the conversation who's on title, or however you want to say it, right? Like what he just said. Because one thing I've noticed since I'm a female, if I ask the man, does your wife need to be there? He will sometimes be like, I'm the decision maker. She'll do what I say, right? And if I ask the woman the question, she'll be like, what are you trying to say? I need my husband to make decisions. So over the years, I've gotten a lot more gentle about how I ask that question. And also, there's a lot of same-sex marriages and partner investment partners. So we have to be careful with like the things that we're saying. I've heard people prospecting who have gotten an appointment and then asked, oh, is your husband going to be there? And they said, I don't have a husband, like F you. So the way that Andrew's going about it is very gently asking, who else is going to be there and who else cares about the sale, which is huge, because you got to be talking to the signature.
Exactly. There's no point of going on an appointment if you're not ready to get a signature. So.
Now, with all the homes that you're selling, I know you're getting a lot of listings signed. How many, like if you have 10 in your inventory right now, how many of those 10 listings would you say you're going to have to price reduce to get them closed?
I would say at least maybe like 30 to 40 of them, for 30 to 40% of those. So, out of 10, 3 to 4 of them. Because one thing that I really have, it has taken some time, but I do like to be as straightforward as possible, especially with expireds, because they've already had somebody tell them they could get this. They've done it 6 months. And sometimes I even talk to people that have been on the market twice, maybe even 3 times. And so just this last listing appointment that I went on Sunday, they were listed twice. They started at 475. They were at 450 off the market. And I had this conversation. I told them my suggestion, or the suggestion that we were looking at, was between 405 and 415. So just imagine the difference in that price range. But I told him, and when I saw his face, when I showed them that, it was, you could tell it was like a shocker, right? But what I told him, I was like, look, I'm actually here to be straightforward with you. And I want to earn your business by being honest. And to be straightforward with you, if you want to get where you want to get to, like you told me to do in the next 60 days or so, we need to be here. And I understand that it's not something that you are anticipating, but this is the true facts. And so it was funny. He looked me like right into my eyes, like almost in my soul. And he was like, thank you. He told me, thank you. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, nobody showed me everything you showed me right here. They just told me that we could get this price, and then we went on the market. And we've been so full of headache of trying to get the property clean, and people saying they're going to put an offers and it's not working. And we really just need to get out of here. And I was like, wow, well, thank you so much for that. But
telling the truth is giving great service.
Exactly. And I think, and that's where, I'm willing to have those conversations and potentially getting kicked out, which I have before, because just to be straightforward with you, you and I both know it takes resources to sell a property. We don't make any money. I can't go back to Hawaii by just having a listing outside or a sign outside. It does nobody any good at all. We need more realtors that are strictly there to give them the right information to potentially help them out. And that's what's winning right now.
And how are you going about getting a price reduction? What's working for you?
Setting it up at the actual listing appointment.
Really?
Yeah, that's something that I learned literally in this group, is setting it up at the actual listing appointment and letting them know. And this is really more and you and I both know the 2 strategies, right? The 2 strategies when it comes to listing homes. You can start higher, right? And then work yourself down, make yourself willing to negotiate or what it might be. Or, obviously price it on the money. But if there's anyone that wants to price it just a little bit more than what the range there is, that's totally fine. As long as they understand within 2 weeks, if we don't have the offers, if we don't have the showings, if we don't have the buzz, we need to make a actual price drop. The first price drop we ask for is a 3% to 3.5% drop. And then the next one is a 5% drop. And so by setting those expectations up there, they understand in 2 weeks, if we haven't got an offer, we're going to make a drop, because the motivation is high enough that they need to get to where they need to get to.
Mm-hmm. So you bring the price change amendment with you to the listing appointment?
Yeah. And to be straightforward with you, I don't actually bring the price amendment. Maybe I need to add that. That's why I'm here with Elite Builders, to get better. But I just had that conversation with them. And so usually when I call them in 2 weeks, they're ready to go.
Okay. I love that. A few things that I have implemented in this market, and I hope that this is helpful for anyone who needs it. If I genuinely feel that staging is going to get a property sold, who usually pays for staging? I never pay for the staging, because I want the seller to be financially
in the game.
Yep. I want them to be as tied to it as I am. And here's the other reality. And I know Andrew is starting to do more social media. With higher price listings, and actually really any listing now, you should have a professional video. To get a videographer, an editing team, to do the video right, that's going to be about $500 to $1,000. You have to market it, SEO. I'm a little old to understand all of it, but I pay somebody to do it. But you got to get it out in the right channels, because everything is done online nowadays. So even though it may be a $350,000 listing, by the time you pay your TC, it's all said and done, you've spent $3,000, whether or not that home sells. So the better we get at this game and the better we become at pre-qual, the less times you're going to lose money. You're going to, I have no problem, guys. I went on a listing appointment the other day. The guy goes, I'm not paying for staging. I said, well, I don't pay to stage other people's homes. I'm not paying to clean the house. I said, it wasn't me who made the house dirty. And because you know what? People respect professionals who respect themselves.
Mm.
And I can't remember ever hiring an attorney, whether it was to do my will or to take care of my LLCs, that said, oh, it's okay. I'll pay for everything. When you die, I'll get paid. It's fine. Right? Like they get their retainer, they get their money up front. They know that you're coming there for a reason, and you know that you're going to pay money. But for some reason, as real estate agents, we just allow people to do whatever the heck they want, and we lose money, and then we cry in the end. And the only person that we really have to blame
Is ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're having trouble right now with maybe getting price reductions, figure out whether or not your sellers are motivated, do exactly what Andrew described. You make sure that everyone's there, make sure that you know the price they're looking for, you're on the same page. And then, if you don't feel like that price is, maybe it's just a little high, then you can talk about the reduction right at the appointment so that they're ready. Are you doing weekly market reports, AAA?
Market reports, what do you mean? Elaborate on that.
So I love it. I'm going to send mine to you the minute I get off the phone. I bet you already do it. All of our sellers receive a weekly market report. And if anyone wants a copy, I'm happy to send it. And what it is it's an accounting of everything we did to sell their home.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like that previous week of everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yes. No. Yeah. That's something that I could definitely implement. It's really more like me actually calling. So that may be a way to leverage that instead of calling all my sellers every Monday or Tuesday.
Yes. You know what? I don't have it loaded in here, but if anyone wants it, I'll send you guys a copy of it.
I'll take
So
it.
the amount, like he's going to do 100 deals this year. He has to find ways he can't talk to 10 people every day. He's never going to do more business. He's going to get bogged down, right?
Yes.
So why I love the weekly market report is I tell every single seller at the appointment, listen, I don't you can text me all day. You can call me all day. The reality is I'm probably not going to return your call. My staff is. And you're going to hear from me every Tuesday about everything that's been done to sell your home, all the showings we've had, the feedback from every showing, what the market's doing, appraisal values, recommendations, next steps. In this report, you're going to get it every Tuesday after you read it. If you want to speak, then I will call you. If you're good with whatever's in there, then I won't call you. And this is so important because if you're doing 1 or 2 deals, you have all the time in the world. You can answer their calls. It's fine. But Andrew's going to do 100 deals this year. He doesn't have time for that. He has to be able to direct people that Tuesday is the day we talk. Tuesday is the day that you can harass me. I'm here to answer your call. Otherwise, you're talking to my assistant, my TC, whoever you have on your staff. And if you set that expectation at the appointment, now you're not an asshole.
No, yeah.
Cussing. Now you're not the jerk who's providing bad service. They know what to expect. I would say you can take it even one step further to provide even better service. I've never done 150 deals, but if you're at that point, instead of calling people, I would send video messages. And that way they feel like they're getting the one-on-one interaction. Because you can't talk to 20 people in your list. If you have 20 listings, you just don't have the time to talk to that many people. I would send each one of those people a personal video note so that you don't have to talk to them so many times.
That's good. Yeah, that's very good. Honestly, I just learned that right there. So I'll definitely take that weekly report. That's super helpful because sometimes, it could be overwhelming just calling the sellers. You've just wasted, an hour and a half, 2 hours just calling your sellers to give them an update.
And you have a wife and kids, they get annoyed. Anyone here with your wife and kids are like, come on, we're at dinner, leave us alone. So it's really great. And I'm happy to share that resource with anyone to set those expectations. So the weekly market report, the reason why I initially brought it up is for price reductions. We set people up, to show them what is the average price per square foot? Because when the market says it, it's the market. But if you say it, you're not
you're a bad guy, you're a bad gal. They don't like you anymore.
Hmm.
So when we put the data in the report, they can start to figure it out on their own. Oh, look, 123 Main Street, the house down the road that came on the market the same day as us, but they were priced 20,000 lower. Oh, they just got a contract, but we're still on the market. They start to figure it out on their own. So we love those weekly market reports.
That's awesome. That's crucial.
I'm noticing that it's 4 o'clock, so I don't want to take too much more time. Andrew, if somebody wants to connect with you, if they're in San Antonio or Houston and, you know, they just want to hang out with AAA, what's the best way to connect?
Yeah, the best way would be just give me a call directly, 210-551-2316. That's 210-551-2316. Or, hit us up on Instagram at AAA Real Estate San Antonio. That's AAA Real Estate San Antonio.
And are you open to helping new agents, or do you only want rock stars?
I'm hoping to help anybody and everybody that wants to elevate their business, whether it's one more deal or it's 100 more deals. The way that we have it set up here, it's like you literally could choose your income. It's just a matter of how determined and how disciplined you are.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's it for us today. This was the Money Hour. I hope you guys took things that can help you to make more money in your business. AAA, Andrew is going to be here to serve all of your clients in San Antonio. If you have referrals for him, he's a great guy. He'll treat your people like better than you will. No, I'm just kidding. He'll treat them great.
Definitely, you're awesome. Thank you so much for even having me on here. I'm excited for the things that we're going to be doing this year.
Same. Let's go. Let's grow, team.
Let's do it.